there are about 170 odd community radio stations now in the last 10 years since the community radio policy has been announced by the Government of India. If you look at the possibilities in India, if you look at the vastness of the country, 170 stations is hardly anything in 10 years. I mean, you are looking at less than 20 stations in a year. Yeah, so I think we need to look at what are the reasons for this kind of a very slow growth. One important issue is the elaborate bureaucratic procedures that have been put in place for licensing. Yeah, I mean, it easily takes anything from a year to longer for a community radio station to go on air from the time they make an application. I think this simply will not do. And many of us who are in the field have been asking the government to simplify the procedures, to make it easier for communities to apply, perhaps to create a single window system. Currently communities will have to go through so many different ministries to get a clearance, and then things get stuck at the communications ministry, which finally allocates the spectrum and the frequency. So we really need to do something at the telecom ministry level. So unless the telecom ministry eases its regulation and makes it faster in that last stage, this kind of delays will continue. So that's one issue. The second issue in the policy which needs some relook is the continued ban on broadcast of news on community radio in India. From my experience of looking at community radio around the world, there is hardly any community radio policy in the world which prohibits news. I mean, what is community radio without news? So right now there is a Supreme Court public interest litigation that's going on contesting why news cannot be broadcast. So hopefully the Supreme Court will uphold the freedom of speech and Article 19(1)(a) and permit broadcast of news very soon, but it doesn't make sense anymore to stop it because citizens can now get news on every single medium that's possible. So what is so sacrosanct about radio, right? And I think we should, and it's not just community radio, even commercial radio is not allowed to broadcast news, so that needs to go. And one third thing I would mention is the policy also says no content of a political nature shall be broadcast. And of course the policy doesn't define what is politics, but increasingly politics is becoming local. It is about local governance, local political institutions, the last mile which affects the people. So why should politics be not permitted on community radio? And what do we mean by politics? See, as long as you hold community radio stations to the same principle that you hold all media, that they will be balanced, they will be fair in their broadcast. And if they violate any laws of the land, the laws are there always to haul them up. Whether it is contempt or whether it is communal disturbances or whatever, all these laws should apply even to community radio stations. So let it be a free-flowing media, a truly alternative, genuinely democratic space where citizens can talk about all the issues that matter in their lives without restrictions. And there's still a lot of confusion about a campus radio station versus a community radio station. I think we really need to take a look at where we have come in all these 10 years and see whether it calls for separation of the policy, because the issues are very different that educational institutions face and community-based organizations face. I mean, this 10 years of experience shows that among the 170 odd stations, more than 100 are educational institutions. So what are their issues and how is it very different from grassroots community-based organizations, and can they be clubbed under the same policy, including content guidelines? I feel if students are making the content in colleges and universities, I mean, you ought to look at content in a slightly different way than impose that colleges and university students also do development programming on agriculture, on environment, on ecology, on health, matters on which they have very little knowledge. I mean, this is work that grassroots organizations do. not college students. I mean, they should be doing what interests them, what animates them, and to work with communities around their colleges and universities. It is also true that to set up a community radio station, you need a studio, you need certain level of equipment. So for some groups, grassroots groups, it's still prohibitive to start a community radio station. So often the cost put people off from having to apply for a community radio station. I think if we can make some of the equipment more affordable, look at possibilities for low-cost technologies. For example, transmitters. There are still only 2 or 3 companies that can actually, from whom you can acquire transmitters. I mean, there are security considerations why they have done that. But still, I mean, do we have enough affordable transmitters? There are lots of duties on equipment, electronic equipment. Can community radio stations get exemption from some of these equipment if they are going to be used for a community and for a social purpose? So I think these are some of the things that, like the Commerce Ministry and others should look into, and to see whether the cost of equipment can be brought down a bit to make it more affordable. Otherwise, the whole idea of community radio is to have as simple an equipment as possible that everybody can use, that you don't need technical degrees and diplomas, that you don't need trained personnel to be able to use this equipment. It should be simple and it should be a no-brainer to use any of this equipment, right? So that's the issue about technicality. Community radio stations have a much smaller frequency, much smaller wattage, and commercial stations are a much bigger lot. And so obviously they will crowd you out in the market. But really there are only 1 or 2 complaints that have come lately where there is some conflict, some issue about the bigger stations drowning out the smaller ones, especially even Prasar Bharati stations, All India radio stations. So I think they are looking into it and to see whether either the All India radio station has overreached itself and cutting into a community radio station, or whether a community radio station's equipment needs to be tuned better so that this doesn't happen. But there's a bigger issue about equipment and reach, which is, in certain kinds of difficult terrain, in mountainous areas, in places like Kutch, for example, where there is this huge salt desert, the Rann of Kutch. A 50-watt transmitter, where does it go? I mean, how far does it reach? So one of the arguments that community radio movement has been doing is in such difficult terrains, maybe 50 watt is too small. The government should make an exception because of the geographical difficulties and maybe increase the wattage. Maybe give them a 200 or 250 watt transmitter so that they can reach more people, because in the Rann of Kutch there are hardly any villages next to each other. There's one village here and one village several kilometers away. So you may not be able to reach many people with a 50 watt transmitter.